Hello students, I am Sanjana Kavatagi, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, AITM, Belgavi. Let us continue with the video lectures on computer organization. That is basic structure of computers and machine instructions and programming. In this video, we will be studying about basic operational concepts. Let us take a quick review. So we stated that the activity in a computer will be governed by or managed by or monitored by the instructions. So to perform the given task, the appropriate program, which is consisting of a list of instructions that is stored in the memory. Okay, so perform any of the task in the computer, there is a particular appropriate program which consists of a list of instructions, and this will be stored in the memory. So individual instructions will be brought from the memory into the processor, and then which executes the specified operations. So each of the instruction will be brought into the processor in order to execute them. So it executes the specified operations. So the data to be used as operands are also stored in the memory. So just consider one example. Consider an example. Take the instruction add LOC A. This is nothing but location A, comma R0. So what this instruction will do is this add will specify that it is going to perform a addition operation. Okay. So this instruction adds the operand at memory location loc A, LOC A, to the operand in a register in the processor, that is R0. See, this R0, R1, R2, these are nothing but the registers. You'll come to know in the upcoming videos. And this name will be given to the memory location. LOC is the name given to the memory location. So the value whatever is present in location A will be taken and it will be added with the value whatever is present in the register R0. Okay, and after addition this result will be stored into the R0 again. So what will be the source here? The source is location A and destination is R0. Okay, so we are going to take two operands, that is location A as well as R0, and then again the result will be stored into R0. So the original contents of location A will remain saved, that means they will be preserved, whereas the contents of R0 will be overwritten because we are going to store back the result into R0. So this instruction requires the performance of several steps. So this is not just in one step this is going to happen. First, what will happen is, first the instruction will be fetched from the memory into the processor, and then we will get to know that it is an addition operation. So to perform any addition operation we should have the operands. So the operand at location A will be fetched first, and then it will be added into the contents of R0. Contents of R0 is nothing but the value whatever is present in R0. So finally the resulting sum will be stored into the register R0. So the instruction that we have seen in the last slide, that is add location A, R0. The add instruction combines the memory access operation with the ALU operation. So what is it is going to do is, it is going to combine the memory access operation with the ALU operation. So in many modern computers, what is memory access operation is nothing but fetching the value from the memory. So that is memory access operation. And what is the ALU operation here? ALU operation is nothing but it is adding both these values. So that is ALU operation. So that particular instruction, it was combining both memory access operation as well as ALU operation. So in most of the modern computers, these two steps of operations are performed by separate instruction for performance reasons that are explained in the upcoming chapters. Okay, so the effect of the above instruction can be realized by two instruction sequence. So in order to in concern with the performance issues, this entire instruction can be this entire instruction is going to involve two types of operations, and so both of them can be written in different steps. Okay, consider the same instruction to be written into in another way, that is load location A, R1 and then add R1, R0. So the same instruction I'm going to write it in two steps. So the first of this instruction, that is load location A, R0, what it does is it transfers the contents of memory location A into the processor register R1. And then the second instruction, that is add R1, R0, it adds the contents of register R1 and R0 and places the sum into R0. Okay, so we can note here is that this is going to destroy the former contents of register R1 as well as that is of R0, because the location A will be written into R1, so the whatever value was present in R0 R1 is overwritten. Okay, so that value is again added with R0, so whatever R0 had, that will be removed and the result is going to be stored into R0. Okay, so whereas the original contents of memory location A will be preserved, so the location A value is going to remain same, whereas R1 and R0 are going to be overwritten. Now let us understand the connection between memory and the processor. Okay, this figure shows that the connection between processor and the memory. Okay, so the transfers between the memory and the processor will be started by sending the address of the memory location that is going to be accessed to the memory unit, and then issuing the appropriate control signal, whether it is a read signal or write signal. Okay, so this data then will be transferred to or from the memory. Transfer to memory is nothing but you're going to write the data into memory. From the memories, you're just reading the data from the memory. So you can see in this figure how the memory and processor can be connected. Okay, so you can see in addition to ALU and the control circuitry which is involved in the processor also contains a number of registers that are going to be used for several different purposes. Okay, let us see what are these registers one by one. Let us see these registers one by one. First one is the IR, that is instruction register. This will hold the instruction that is currently being executed. So the instruction whichever is currently being executed, that instruction will be stored in the instruction register. So this its output will be available to the control units, which generate the timing signals that is going to control various processing elements that are going to be involved in executing the instruction. Next we have program counter, abbreviated as PC. Okay, so this PC is another specialized register. This is going to keep track of all the execution of the program. So this will contain the memory address of the next instruction to be fetched and executed. So PC will hold what? It will hold the address of the next instruction that is going to be fetched and executed. So during the execution of an instruction, the contents of PC are updated corresponding to the address of the next instruction to be executed. So what IR will hold, which instruction is being executed, that will be held in IR. What PC will do, PC will be having the value that is nothing but the address of the next instruction to be fetched and executed. Okay, so we can say that PC always point to the next instruction that is going to be fetched from the memory. Okay, so along with IR and PC, the figure shows several n general purpose registers which are named from R0 to Rn-1. Okay, so what are the role of these registers, you will come to know in the upcoming videos. Okay, so along with PCIR we have several other registers, those are called as general purpose registers. Okay, so and then we have another two registers which is going to facilitate the communication with the memory. Okay, one is memory address register, that is MAR, and the other one is memory data register. Okay, so what this MAR will hold is, it will hold the address of the location to be accessed. So in memory address register we are going to store the address of the location which is going to be accessed. Okay, whereas in case of MDR, this is going to contain the data to be written into or read out of the address location. So okay, MAR will hold the address, MDR, as the name says, data, so it is going to hold the data, okay, that is going to be written or read out of the particular memory location. Let us now consider some typical operating steps. So the programs will be residing in the memory, and usually they get there through the input unit. How you are going to store the program into the memory? That is through the input unit. Okay, so execution of the program always starts when the PC is set to point to the first instruction of the program. So what is PC? PC will always hold the next instruction to be executed. Since now we are beginning the execution of the program, so initially always PC will be pointing to the first instruction of the program. Okay, so and then the contents of the PC are transferred to MAR. MAR is memory address register. What MAR will do? MAR will contain the address of the memory location to be accessed, because that instruction will be stored in MAR now. Okay, so the contents of the PC are transferred to MAR. So that address will be transferred to MAR, and we are going to generate a read control signal to the memory. Okay, that means go to that particular memory location and read the data. Okay, so after the time required to access the memory completes or elapses, you can say the addressed word. Okay, addressed word means what? In that particular memory location, whatever data is there. So in this case, the first instruction of the program is there in that particular memory location. So that will be read out of the memory. Okay, and so what to which memory location I am accessing, that will be given by MAR. Okay, now I've reached to that memory location and I'm taking the data. I'm reading the data. So after reading the data, where the data has to go? That data has to go to MDR, because what MDR will contain? MDR will contain the data of that particular memory location which is accessed. Okay, so that data will be loaded to MDR. Okay, next the contents of the MDR will be transferred to IR. Okay, contents of MDR is transferred to IR. What IR will do? IR will hold the instruction that is currently being executed. Okay, so at this point the instruction is ready to be decoded and executed. So when it comes to IR, we will decode it. Decode means what? We will see what operation has to be done in that particular instruction, and then it will be executed. Now suppose if the instruction that is going to be executed, it has some operation to be performed by the ALU, that is arithmetic logical unit. So it is necessary to obtain the required operands. Okay, I should give the operands to the ALU unit. So if an operand resides in the memory, it can be also in the general purpose register in the memory. So wherever it is, it has to be fetched by sending its address to MAR. Again same, if I want to access something, I have to send that address to MAR and generate a read signal. So when that data is read, that operand, when the operand has been read from the memory, that will be loaded into MDR, because MDR will hold the data that is being accessed. Okay, so and then it is transferred from the MDR to the ALU. So this MDR will give the data to ALU. So after one or more such operands are fetched in the same way, the ALU is allowed to perform the desired operation now. So it has operands, it can perform operation on those operands. So if the result of this operation is to be stored in the memory, then the result is sent to the MDR. Okay, so if the result of this operation is stored into the memory, again it has to go through the MDR only. Okay, so the address of the location where the result is to be stored is sent to MAR. Data will be sent to MDR, address will be sent to MAR, and a write cycle is generated, or write control signal is generated. Okay, so this control signal will tell whether to read the data or write the data. So we have two control signals, read and write. Read will be used for reading the data or fetching the data from the memory. Write is writing back into the memory or storing into the memory. So at some point during the execution of the current instruction, the contents of the PC will be incremented, so that PC always points to the next instruction to be executed. That means what? This PC value will be continuously updated throughout the execution of the program. So as soon as the execution of the current instruction is completed, a new instruction fetch may be started. So once that execution of the first instruction or any instruction completes, the next instruction will be ready to be fetched and execution will be started. So we'll continue the next topic in the next video. Thank you for watching.